A deeply dangerous situation is now developing across Rojava, and particularly around Kobani, where the city has been laid siege, reminiscent of the previous siege of Kobani. At this time, I understand that power and water have been cut. It is a desperate situation. Children have begun to die from hypothermia. Reports have come to me indicating that there has been an agreement with the latest ceasefire for United Nations aid trucks to transport into the city, and it is to be hoped that that medical aid, food supplies, assistance with power generators, and I hope also emergency accommodation will provide some respite to the tens of thousands of displaced people who have also joined the residents of Kobani. The ceasefire which has been called must now be sustained. There is no possibility of developing peace through military, security or repressive measures. And my appeal would be for all sides to ensure that this ceasefire becomes durable, that a process of discussion and negotiation commences to ensure that the humanitarian needs of the citizens in Kobani in the first instance are properly addressed, but that agreement is arrived at on the key issues to ensure that peace is restored to the region, that there is stability in citizens' lives. The international community has an enormously important role to ensure that this process is put together and then overseen, and that all terms of agreements reached are immediately and comprehensively implemented without any side refusing to act in good faith. This is a time of great danger for Kurds in northeast Syria, and this also has repercussions and implications for the achievement of Kurdish national rights and recognition in other parts of Kurdistan, and in particular for those Kurds living in Türkiye. So on behalf of my party, I extend very warm, sincere solidarity greetings to all of the people of Kurdistan at this time, and particularly to our sisters and brothers in Kobani. We see what is happening. We see you, we hear you, and we stand with you all.